How would you like a fresh start? A new name? That sounds good, doesn't it? You know, that old person, he doesn't exist anymore. And the disappointments, the hurt, the mistakes, they're all forgotten. Nobody remembers them, not even you. You know, and God's going to give you a new name. You know, and you can bet that that's a good name. And when God gives you a name, it's a prayer. God changed Jacob's name to Israel, and he changed Simon's name to You know, and I believe that when they first got called by God, they felt very unworthy. But when God gave them the new name, when he gave them a new name, that changed everything. You know, when we're baptized, right, we go down in the water. And what's going on there is that the old person is going down into the grave. You know, and that's where we get our old sinful selves get crucified with Jesus on the cross. And just as Jesus rose again, we rise up out of the water a new man, you know. And there can be big changes at that point, you know. There was for me. The same night that I got baptized, I was coming home and I ran into a friend who's an unbeliever. And they had no idea where I was that night. And after we were talking for about a minute, and they said, "There's something different about you." I mean, that's a good sign, you know. So when we come up out of the water, we're a new person spiritually, you know. You might feel different, and you might have had a stronghold in your life, and that's broken all of a sudden. But you know what? The world still sees that same person with the same name, you know. And there's our struggle, you know. We feel different. We might even act differently, right? But the world is always going to remind you of that old person. You know, that's one of the big differences between heaven and earth. You know, when we get to heaven, you're going to be given a new name. You know, but nobody's going to remember the old name because everything is new. In Revelation 2 is where it talks about us receiving a new name, you know. And this is, Jesus is talking to the churches, to the angels of all the churches. And this is the church of Pergamum, you know. And in verse 17, it says, to those who have followed my commands and are victorious, I will give you some of the manna that has been hidden away in heaven, right? So that manna that's spiritual nourishment. It's different from the manna that fell from the sky to the Israelites, okay? So this is spiritual nourishment. And it says that he's going to give us a white stone, and that white stone is going to be engraved with a new name. And the only person who's going to understand that name is the one who receives it. So we are going to be getting a new name. And in Revelation 3, it talks about God's new name. You know, again, it says, to those who are victorious, you'll come into my temple. You'll become pillars in my temple. You'll never have to leave. And I will write on them my new name.
I have come to worship Jesus and lift the name above all names. I will praise and love you, Jesus, and spread the news of why you came. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, teacher, healer, savior, friend. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, teacher, Jireh, my